And Bonds hits one high. It's a deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks Flats, joined with my guy, Swervin Irvin, Washington, straight from traffic in LA County.
The 405 to be exact. No cars ran off the ravine tonight, so we good.
It's always a good update, yeah?
Yeah.
Man. So this is a special episode, obviously. Friday night, Sweet 16 just wrapped up. Last games tonight. We got the Elite 8 starting tomorrow, so we figured, we might as well hop on, recap the Sweet 16, kind of preview the Elite 8. And man, what a great Sweet 16 it was, man. Miami with the upset, San Diego State with the upset, FAU with the upset. I guess you could say Kansas State was upset. That was kind of a pick 'em. So was Gonzaga, UCLA, but
Yeah.
an excellent Sweet 16, man. And if you tapped into the Sweet 16 preview pod, your boy Jordan did really, really, really well. Only game I missed out on, Irv, was Houston, Miami. That was the only one I got wrong.
And shout out Aaron because he got that one right.
No, he had Houston. That was one of his best bets.
Oh, I thought he picked Miami.
Nah, he had Houston. He had UConn minus the 4. I leaned Arkansas. I didn't have a play on that on the show.
Yeah, Arkansas came out flat and got their fucking doors blew off of them. Packed their ass up. Eric Musselman need to recruit all new players.
Well,
they'll be all right.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I talked about this in the beginning of the season. I said, this is a different age in college basketball. Like, you can't just go out and recruit the best high school talent.
Yeah.
Get 4 or 5-star recruits and expect to win. And it showed with Arkansas and Duke. Those were the two teams. They had the two best recruiting classes in the country, and both of them fell flat. You could sit there and say for Arkansas, well, Nick Smith didn't play a ton all year. Sure, he didn't, but when he did play, he didn't look very good.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if I want to draft that kid in the lottery if I'm an NBA team, to be honest. Musselman benched him in the first round match or second round matchup against who they play in the second round. They played Kansas. Benched him against Kansas, and that's when they went on a run. You know what I mean? So it's a new age, and honestly, I think the reason why we're seeing so much parity, like, bro, this is gonna be the first time in I don't know how long. I haven't looked it up, but it's a very long time that we have 0 number 1 seeds in the Final Four. There's not gonna be one number 1 seed in the Final Four.
Yeah, that hasn't happened. Let me see when the last time that happened. That was probably the 60s or the 70s.
I don't even know, dog, because that's like there's so much parity this year, and like we said it before the tournament, like this is a crazy year. Like I could see anything happening. Like it's a lot of parity in this season, and I thought the first couple of rounds, like we saw a lot of blowouts. We did see some upsets. We didn't see a ton of upsets, but then once we get to the Sweet 16, it's like it's showing the parity. Like all these teams are good. You know what I mean? Like it's not normal. You see a 9 seed.
2011.
2011 was the last time a number 1 seed didn't make the Final Four. It's crazy, man. And like, dude, there's gonna be a couple, 1 or 2, maybe 5 seeds in the Final Four. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the last time that happened. 2s, 3s, okay, but 5s, 6s,
FAU beat Kansas State. What, they a 9 seed,
they're a
right?
9 seed. Yep.
Jeez.
So I mean, it's been wild. It's been a wild Sweet 16. Let's recap it from the beginning. So the first game we had was Michigan State versus Kansas State. This might have been the best game of the tournament. This was a great game, back and forth both ways, kind of how I expected it. I leaned Michigan State early on, but then I flipped over. I was like, you know what? I think Kansas State I think they have too much talent, and they played in the better league all year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to propel them over. Noel was Marquise Noel was just phenomenal. 18 assists in the game.
Yeah, he was balling.
And he had that one assist where they were acting like they were arguing, and he tosses the fucking alley-oop back door. That was the ball game. And, you know, a lot of people were like, well, I like Michigan State because Tom Izzo. Well, I mean, let's be honest, dude. Tom Izzo, last time he won national championship, 2000. His teams are always good in March, but they're not great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Marquette versus Marquette, Tyler Kolek gets 2 fouls very early in the first 3 minutes and, like, changes the whole game. I mean, he was the Big East player of the year. They missed him for, like, the entire first half, so that's a big part of March, dude, and, like, those are tough things to handicap, you know what I mean? And, you know, I like K-State there. K-State pulled away, went into overtime. Just a phenomenal game, dude. Like, you got it.
Big shots, lead change after lead change.
It was
Kansas State held it together at the end and got the job done.
It was a great game. And then we had Arkansas, Connecticut. This game actually closed -3.5, so we saw a lot of money come in on Arkansas late.
Mm-hmm.
And Arkansas just got the doors blown off them.
Got their asses whooped.
It was a tie game, and then Connecticut went on a 14-0 run and kind of never looked back. Connecticut's shooting almost 50% from 3 in this tournament. You have to assume that at some point that's gonna
at some point they gotta cool off, right?
It's gonna regress to the mean. But yeah, man, just Arkansas just couldn't score enough, and honestly, that was the first time I ever seen an Eric Musselman team just get absolutely dominated, dude. I was very surprised at the outcome of that game. I actually turned it off halfway through. I was like, bro, this is ugly, dog. Like,
yeah, your boy was super surprised though. They got their asses whooped.
There ain't no comeback. And then we had Florida Atlantic, Tennessee. You know, Aaron and I both on the Sweet 16 preview show, we both said, like, this is an upset, a live dog alert. We both liked FAU. Neither one of us took it as our best bet, but we both liked FAU. Both of us bet it as well. I didn't bet the money line. I should have. But, you know, FAU took care of business 62-55. It was they really struggled in the first half. They couldn't really score. And then they just filled it up in the second half, man. They got going. John L. Davis got going, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, only 3 of 9 from the field, but 15 points.
Nice.
And then he had, just a outstanding game from FAU. And I think one thing that has been overlooked from Florida Atlantic this year, and Aaron and I touched on this in our last show, is that Conference USA might have been the most overlooked conference in the country. Like, Charlotte won the CBI from Conference USA. And then Conference USA has 2 teams in the Final Four in the NIT, UAB and North Texas, right? So, I mean, this is a conference that probably should have 2 or 3 teams in the tournament if we're keeping it a buck. So, I think FAU's a little undervalued in this tournament so far. And then we had Gonzaga, UCLA, man. We got a fucking barn burner for the finale. I mean, every time these 2 teams step on the floor, it's a classic, dude. Like, at this point, like, it should be mandatory that UCLA and Gonzaga are in the same bracket every March Madness, because every game these 2 play, it's phenomenal. UCLA jumped out to a huge start. I had Gonzaga plus 1.5 as one of my best bets, and the reason why I said I liked Gonzaga was I thought the market was undervaluing Gonzaga and what they had done up to that point, as well as I think the market was overlooking what UCLA was missing. Jalen Clark, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Adom Bono.
A big loss.
And Bona. He's their best interior defensive player. He was a first-team all-defensive Pac-12 player. probably the second best defensive player in the Pac-12 for keeping it a buck. They're missing both those guys, and they just they lacked depth, and it showed. Like, they got off to a hot start. They couldn't be stopped in the first half, and then they ran out of gas in the second half. And they got out-rebounded 50-26 on the glass.
Sheesh.
By a quote-unquote soft Gonzaga team. And then, I mean, to put the cherry on top, Las Vegas' own Julian Strother knocks down a 30-footer to win the game, dude. I mean, you can't write a better story, right?
Yeah, that was nasty.
So that was a great game. And I tweeted out this morning, I said, for what it's worth, if Bona and Jalen Clark were healthy, UCLA probably wins the title.
Yeah.
I feel that way very strongly. I think they were the best team when fully healthy, but when you're missing two starters like that, it's just too much to overcome.
Yeah. Especially this time of year.
Yep. And especially against a team like Gonzaga that loves to run up and down, you know what I mean? It's a track meet when you play them.
And Cronin is a great coach. It's just that injury bug bit him a little hard.
Yeah, and the one I love Mick Cronin, dude. I think he's a great coach. You know, being a USC guy, it pains me to say that. However, I thought he pulled a total fucking bitch move last night. First thing he talks about is, well, the officiating. Bro, you got out-rebounded 50-26. I don't want to hear shit about officiating. If you get out-rebounded 50-26, you're losing a basketball game. Like, there's no way you win a basketball game getting out-rebounded like that.
Yeah, Lee, you should have left the refs out of that equation.
Yeah. And there was bad calls on both sides. It wasn't like it was a great officiated game. I mean, it was poorly officiated on both sides. But when you get out-rebounded 50-26, dog, I don't want to hear shit. All I want to hear is, you know what? We got out-hustled. We got dominated on the glass. Because
the better team won tonight.
The better team won. Dude, the glass tells you the story. You know what I mean? That tells you who's dominating, who's physically into it. It's just unfortunate. Because like I said, you know, no injuries, they probably win the national title. Probably. I say probably because there's no guarantee. Hypothetical. All right, let's move on to Friday today. Or yesterday, depending on when you're watching or listening to this. San Diego State, Bama. San Diego State, this game, 7.5 closed -6 at most shops. -6. So we saw a full 1.5 move late. And there was a reason why, because your boy, he went on the show. He was like, yo, San Diego State's going to win this game. Like, they're going to win. I'm not even worried about it. I think they're the better team. And Brandon Miller was fucking atrocious, Irvin. He was awful.
I think his draft stock might have. So he probably still might go in the lottery, but I don't think he go in the top 5 no more. His March Madness horrible.
Yeah, well, I think he's got a lot going on. You know.
Yeah, he does have a lot going on outside of basketball, and that noise is only going to get bigger and bigger.
And that might hurt his draft stock more than the on-court performance. You know what I mean?
Too. So, man, he just pack Alabama up, pack his ass up, roll Tide straight into a ditch, and made the West Coast rain fell. Yeah, I'm glad, because our West Coast teams stay getting disrespected, especially in football. And then in basketball, it's always, they can make the tournament, but they can never make a run, and they always lose to a Big 12 or a Big 10 team.
Well, there's no Big 10 teams left.
Yeah, no Big team left, but this was SEC. SEC was pretty good this year. So
SEC, no team left either.
And the West Coast just beat the number 1 overall seed in the whole tournament. So, put some respect on our name.
Yeah, and it's like I said on the show with Aaron, I was like, bro, like, people underestimate the San Diego State team. Like, this is a very athletic and tenacious team. Like, this isn't – people think of San Diego and they think of, like, surfer, blonde-haired boys. Like, this ain't that, dude. This is a complete opposite. They got dog in them, dude.
Yeah, and this team they've been building this for years.
Yeah, and Brian Ditcher, the head coach of San Diego State, over 70% ATS when he has 4 days to prepare for a team or more. So I liked San Diego State. I had a strong inclination they were gonna win. I just had this feeling. They one of the best defensive teams in the country, especially against a 3 and in transition. two things that Bama likes to do. And they took care of business, man. And you got to.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is like Matt Bradley wasn't good, and he's our best player. He was 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Only scored 6 points, had 4 fouls. He was in foul trouble all game. Only played 19 minutes. But Darion Trammell, 9 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3, 21 points. He really took over the scoring. And obviously you get guys like Seiko hit some big buckets. Lede, always huge on the interior. Johnson, awesome on the defensive end. I mean, this is a team that you can't write off, dude. Like, just time and time again, these dudes just prove people wrong. I love this team. And then we had Miami, Houston. Houston closed -7.5. This was one of Aaron's best bets, -7, Houston. Me and him were on the same side on this, and I think we had the right handicap. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. I mean, Miami just shot the fucking lights out, dude. 11 for 25 from 3.
Man, they got busy.
Yeah, it was nasty, you know what I mean? And Houston just couldn't score, man. 30% from 3. Marcus Sasser, 4 of 12 from the field, only 14 points. Jamal Shed, 6 of 11. He was probably their best player too. Rashawn Walker, who's probably going to be a lottery pick, 16 points, 4 of 16 from the field. So just a tough one, man. And Miami took care of business, dude. And I didn't think they could. I didn't think they could defend enough, but they did. You got to tip your cap. Got to tip your cap. They took care of it.
Miami did their thing, and we seen this potential for them on and off this year. They was just so super streaky, and then in the year they wasn't really playing that well either. So you probably didn't really see them making this deep of a run, but they turned it on and got hot at the right time.
Bro, they were losing to Drake with like 2 minutes left, and then they went on like a 13-1 run to end the game, and it's like it's crazy. Like they probably should have lost that game if we're keeping it 100. And they lose that game, you know how this things turn out, but they won. They continue to win, and you got to tip your cap. Yeah. Then we had Creighton versus Princeton. Creighton closed -10. The total was 141.5. This one soared over. I mean, I love the first half under in this, and I mean, it was just like no defense being played at all.
Even the live over went over too.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, Creighton, like, they were playing in the first half like they won the game. Like, you see this often in the tournament, especially in like the earlier rounds when like a number 1 seed's playing a lower seed, and like you're a much better team talent wise, so you kind of just like dick around and you make buckets, but you don't really like exert a ton of energy on the defensive end of the floor. And I saw that in Creighton, and like that's one thing I didn't anticipate, because like this is Sweet 16, dude. This isn't the first round, And I thought like Creighton was gonna like shut them down. They got out to an 8-point lead, and then they gave up like 4 layups in a row, and Princeton scores, and even the -10 was at jeopardy, because Princeton gets out to an 18-point lead at the end, Irv, and they give up a 9-0 run right after that. It was nasty work by Creighton. My biggest, well, I mean, they covered, but my biggest concern about Creighton is like, and this has been my concern about them all season long, is they don't have a ton of depth, dude. They only play 6 guys. So it's like if one of those guys gets in foul trouble, especially against a team like San Diego State, who's like very physical and athletic, Baylor Shireman, he was our second leading scorer with 21 points tonight. I'm telling you right now, Baylor Shireman is not going to get easy looks against San Diego State
at all.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a difficult matchup for him. Same thing for Nemhard. It's going to be very difficult for him. Now, Kalkbrenner could be the difference in that game, which we'll get to in a second. But I do have some concerns about Creighton going forward. And this is a team that I picked to go to the Final Four. And now I'm, like, questioning it. And then the last game we had tonight, Texas and Xavier. Texas closed -4, -4.5, depending on the book. Ended up only winning by 83-71. Only ended up winning by 12. This one was surprising to me because It was a 13-point game with 1:05 to go, and Xavier subbed out all their starters, and I was like, well, I mean, there's still time, dude. Like, we saw UCLA close a 9-point margin in less than a minute. Alabama almost closed a 9-point margin in under a minute against San Diego State, and I was like, kind of surprised that they just like waved the white flag and just gave up. That shit was That shit was very surprising to me. But I mean, Texas controlled this game from the tip. They did lose Dylan Dessou, who was their leading scorer coming into the game in the tournament. He was in a walking boot about 5 minutes into the game, and that could be major issues. However, they just keep taking care of business, Irv.
Yep.
I think
I don't know how they haven't removed that interim tag on their coach yet. That's crazy.
I don't think it. I don't think that it does any good to do it now. You just gotta wait till after the tournament. But I'm gonna be completely transparent and honest. Like, I don't know if he's the right guy for the job. He's playing with Chris Beard's players in Chris Beard's system. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen this story before, dude, where a guy gets an interim job with other guys' players. Clay Helton, different sport, but and then never pans out to do anything even similar. So, if I'm a Texas alum or something, like, I do have reservations. Rodney, he's a great guy, dude. Like, he seems like a cool dude. Players like him, but, you know, players loved Clay Helton too. How'd that turn out? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a big program, bro. Like, is he going to be able to recruit? Especially that they're moving in the SEC now. Is he going to be able to recruit with those other guys? Who knows? Only time will tell, I guess. All right. Let's move on to the Elite Eight. We got 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. This is to make a trip to the Final Four with the national championship on the line in Houston, Texas. I'm very sad that Houston will not be there. Definitely thought they were gonna win the whole thing, man.
Me too. Shout out to Mattress Matt.
Yeah.
Can't win them all, buddy, but you won $75 million on those damn Astros, so.
Yep.
Parlay that for the rest of your life, man.
Yep, and then just take the Marlins, man.
Win the division.
Take the Marlins. No, take the Marlins and win it all.
Oh, okay.
Fuck it. Their odds to win it all gotta be insane. All right, so tomorrow, Saturday, or today, depending on what time, if you're on the East Coast, Mountain, whatever. If you're on the Pacific Standard Time Zone, it's Friday. All right, that's what we're on. FAU at Kansas State, Irv. Not at, but in Madison Square Garden. Obviously, Kansas State coming off that emotional overtime win against Michigan State. Marquise Noel did twist his ankle. He did not go through shoot around today. But right now the line's at 1.5, 2, depending on where you shop at. The total's at 144.5, basically everywhere.
Yeah, he's playing. It's no, you would have to carry him out that game on the stretcher. There's no way he's not playing.
Yeah, but if he's not 100%, I do think that it affects this game. I mean, the dude's only 5'8", and if he's on 1 foot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this game though?
FAU is a scrappy team. They played real good defense. I don't know if they're gonna be able to score enough to stay with Kansas State.
Nah, FAU's a great offense. 26 in the country in efficiency and offense. 26.
Yeah, but they haven't been like lighting it up in the tournament though.
Yeah, but they also played fucking Tennessee, who's like the 4th best defense in the country.
That's true.
They played Memphis, who's a top 30 defense in the country. Man, I like FAU in this game plus the 1.5. I actually think they win the game, to be honest. I've been kind of down on Kansas State all year. Like, I like Kansas State early in this game, but then once I started diving into it, I was like, you know what? I think FAU is going to win this game, especially with with Noel being on a bum ankle and only having a 1 day turnaround, like that's not a lot of time. You know
Well,
what
I
I
love
mean?
the over. Honestly, if I'm betting anything, I'm betting that over.
Oh, yeah, 144.5 might be nice. FAU's defense though, 29th in defensive efficiency. And but really where I like this game is, FAU's offense very efficient. They also have a 7-footer in I can't say his first name, but Vladislav Golden. I think that's how you say it. And I think that,
Where's he from?
I mean, probably somewhere in fucking near Russia. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably from Yugoslavia or something.
somewhere around there. But I think FAU they've come up with big shots when they need it. John L. Davis is a very fine guard. I think Kansas State's like more battle tested in the sense like they definitely played in the harder conference. But I just wonder like Jerome Tang, uh, Noel's a little Jerome Tang. This is his first time head coach experience. Obviously Marquise Noel's a little banged up. I just wonder if Kansas State is going to have enough in this game.
I don't know. They don't have Noel, man. It might get ugly because he's the engine to that whole offense, and he
That's what I'm.
sets everything
And if
up.
he's not 100%, dude, like because you when you first if you've ever hurt your ankle, twisted your ankle, sprained your ankle, like when it first happens, like you have so much adrenaline going, like you can play through it. But then it's the next day that's the issue.
Yeah, that's when he really hit you.
And the fact that like he didn't go through shoot around today and stuff tells me that like he was definitely a
Well,
little.
don't take that Toradol, young man. Protect your future.
Yeah, so I do like FAU plus 1.5 here for that very reason. And I actually played it as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think I like. I love the over.
Over 144.5. I see it. Um. All right, the next game we have Gonzaga versus Connecticut. Gonzaga has the nation's longest win streak at 12.
Wow.
And they are 2-point dogs right now to UConn. Now, I took UConn -1 when this line first opened, and I might buy back on Gonzaga. I may be buying back because
Well, but how's Gonzaga? I mean, how's Gonzaga gonna deal with? Oh boy,
Sonogo.
yeah,
I mean, that's definitely of concern, dude. The problem is on the flip side is like I don't know if Sonogo can guard Drew Timmy.
that's true too.
You
But
know, and if Timmy gets Sonogo into foul trouble,
that's a wrap.
well, then they bring in Andrew Clingan, very nice guy, freshman though, 7-footer.
Yeah.
And
I think Timmy would abuse. You talking about the tall white guy?
who on Donovan Clingan on Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 7'2" though. I mean, he's no slouch, dude.
Yeah, he's no slouch, but I think Timmy is gonna abuse him. I think he a little too light in the ass. He guarded Drew Timmy, but okay.
Yeah,
Put up a fight, buddy.
and the thing I keep looking at is like, all right, UConn 36% from three during the season, Gonzaga 38%, but Connecticut's shooting like lights out in this tournament, dude. Like, and some of these shots, like, dude, they're gonna regress to the mean at some point. You know what I mean? Like, they can't just continue doing this. And this is like the first team they faced this tournament, other than Iona, that can like score with them. But Iona doesn't have the depth that UConn had. I mean that Gonzaga has. So I don't know, bro. Like, I do think, like, I think these are probably the two best teams left in the tournament, and it's unfortunate that they have to meet in the Elite Eight.
Man, I just wish that Gonzaga actually had a real damn good guard. So I think if they had a good guard like Jalen Green type, I think they actually
They do. His name's Julian Strother from Las Vegas, Nevada.
See, would you put him on Jalen Green level though?
Yeah, and I also think one thing that that really turned the UCLA game around was when um Mark Few finally put in Malachi Smith. And Malachi Smith, he played at Chattanooga last year. He was the Southern Conference Player of the Year in that conference. That's the same conference that Furman came out of this year. It's a good conference. He was the Player of the Year in that conference last year. And he puts Malachi Smith in, and the whole game just changed at that point.
What? You over there listening to Lil B? Cut that bullshit off.
Oh, it's Barry a legend, bro.
I can't stand his music.
It's a Barry a legend, bro.
Oh man. Okay, I'll give y'all that. Yeah, when he was with the pack, after he left the pack, that music got horrible.
What was that song?
No.
I'm from the Bay, and I don't even listen to Lil B.
After he started calling himself a pretty bitch, it was a rap.
I'm from the.
That was one time.
I'm from the Bay, and I don't even really fuck with E40.
Damn.
Fuck with some of his shit, but not all of it. But back to Zaga, Connecticut. I just think, I don't know, Irv, like, this is another one of those coin flip games, and I think just like the UCLA game, the market might be undervaluing Gonzaga once again. And that's scary. And on top of that, this is going to be a home game for Gonzaga. I'm telling you right now, I'm here in Vegas right now. I was on the Strip today, and it is a lot of Gonzaga fans out here.
Sheesh.
And if you watch that UCLA Zaga game, I mean, there was a majority Zaga fans than UCLA fans. And I haven't seen not one UConn fan. I've seen twice as many Arkansas fans as UCLA fans, and I've seen a shit ton of Gonzaga fans out here. So I'm starting to flip my position, and I actually might make my best bet Gonzaga +2. The only reason why I'm hesitant is because I have a future on Gonzaga to win it all, so I can kind of hedge a little bit here and take UConn. And I think UConn's rolling. But UConn, they've won by double digits every game, Irv. At some point, like, they're gonna get
at some point they're gonna have to play
it's gonna get to a battle.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to get tested, see if they can rise to the occasion like these other teams have.
And I keep looking at this Marquette game when they played Marquette in the Big East Championship, and they kept settling for 3 after 3 after 3, and they went like 4 minutes without making a fucking shot because they just kept jacking up threes. Like, this could be a very similar position, dude. And like Zaga showed the ability to like tighten up on defense like they did in the second half yesterday. They held UCLA without a field goal for 11 minutes.
Sheesh.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, I played UConn -1. I'm tempted to buy back on Zags +2. And I also might make a play on Zags money line.
All right.
And the over. I'm just, dude, Zaga #1 offensive efficiency. Yes, I know there are defensive issues, like, they exist. You know, we saw it in the first half last game. You know, Sonogo is a fucking beast. But I just have this vision, dude. Like, I don't have this vision. I already know what Mark Few's going to do. He's going to get Sonogo in the pick and roll, and he's going to force Sonogo to guard Drew Timme. He's going to get Sonogo in foul trouble. And this could change the whole game, whole complexion of the game.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being a possibility, bro.
I also don't like that. Hold on, let me pull up the actual numbers here. Let me pull 80% of the tickets, 97% of the money on UConn. Yet the line
Oh yeah, I'm taking Gonzaga.
yet the line hasn't moved off 2 at all. That doesn't make
Yeah,
any
I'm
sense to
taking
me, bro.
Gonzaga. Anytime the public been over 80% on somebody in this tournament, they lost.
Yeah, I think I'm a double.
Yeah.
I think I'm a triple down on Gonzaga, dude.
Give me Gonzaga. Either do money line or plus the 2.
All right, and then we got Texas and Houston. Right now, it's at -3.5. I should love Texas in this spot. I know Dessou's hurt, but
Yeah, they're a hell of a defensive team, man. They switch everything. And if they keep putting up the offense that they putting up, it's gonna be hard to beat Texas.
I was gonna say I think the difference between Texas and Houston, and like even before Miami beat Houston, like I was already worried about my Houston future because I was like, man, Texas might beat Houston, and I would have taken Texas. They probably would have been like 2.5-point dogs, 3-point dogs against Houston. Probably would have taken it, but the difference between Texas and Houston is that Texas can score. Houston goes through droughts because they don't have enough offense.
Yeah.
Now Miami can score, but Miami can't defend. You know what I mean? Like
That's their problem.
they're not a good defensive team, so I think that could become an issue here. Yeah, man, I kind of like Texas minus the 3.5 here. I'm gonna wait because I think it's gonna get bet down to like 2.5 because I think the public's gonna be heavy on Miami,
Mm-hmm.
and so then I'll take Texas at a better number. But yeah, man, I like Texas here. I understand Miami's offensive efficiency numbers. Very, very good. 6th in offense. Texas 15th in offense, but Texas 10th in defensive efficiency, playing in a much better conference than Miami. So I definitely lean Texas here. And the total at what is it, 150.5? I don't know. Probably take it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I also wouldn't be
Definitely over.
shocked if I also wouldn't be shocked if Miami doesn't score a lot against them.
Yeah, because Texas can clamp you on defense.
So it'll be an interesting matchup. Like they did a great job on Xavier tonight, especially when Disu went down. I was like, oh damn, that's trouble because Nunji might be able to go off, but he wasn't. He wasn't able to, and Miami's a very small team anyway, so I don't think Disu's a huge loss for them in this game. So
Yeah, it's looking like Texas. Woo, Final Four might be nice. Texas, San Diego State, FAU, and Zaga.
man, that would be ideal. UConn and Zaga, I'm very up in the air against, man. Like I personally think UConn's the best team left in the tournament. I do. However, I think that Zaga, for the first time in their I shouldn't say first time ever, but like the first time in like the last 15 years, this team has like no expectations. Like everybody's expecting them to not be that good. Yet here they are and they continue to win and they continue to overcome expectations. And now they're playing a UConn team who like really hasn't dealt with any adversity in this tournament. So
You right about that?
and I still think this, dude. Alex Dukas doesn't get hurt against UConn, they beat UConn. If Alex Dukas does not get hurt for St. Mary's, they beat UConn.
Yeah, St. Mary's is giving it to him.
The game entirely switched at that point when he got hurt. And the Zags dominated St. Mary's the last 2 times. Damn, dude, I keep talking myself into the Zags, bro. So I'm just gonna take them +2.
Let's roll. Let's ride.
And I like San Diego State. I like Texas, and I like FAU. Yep. That's it right there. think Julian Strother has a big game against UConn. Las Vegas' own Julian Strother. Let's go, baby.
That's the kind of guards USC need.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of good guards in the portal, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get on it.
Well, I mean, we also recruited the number 1 guard in the country.
Yeah, I know. I think
High
he
school.
gonna. I think he gonna be a monster.
We need another. We need another guard, and we need a wing.
Yeah, we need a winning bad. We need to get our boy from UC Santa Barbara.
Who?
Wait, wasn't that him that jumped in the portal?
Who jumped in the portal from Santa Barbara?
Was it? No, it wasn't Santa Barbara. What school was it?
Oh, you
Told me
mean
USC need him bad.
you mean Cal Baptist, Taryn Armstrong.
Yeah. You said USC need him bad. I
Yeah,
know it was in California somewhere.
he's like a better version of fucking Drew Peterson, dude.
Yeah, I'll sign him up.
A little bit shorter though.
Well, Drew Peterson got packed up. We don't need him.
Bro, he's gonna exercise his COVID year, dude. I guarantee it. He'll be
Nah, go play overseas, bro, or somebody's G League.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him exercising that shit and playing next year because I mean it's only more experience.
If he stopped being apple turnovers, I wouldn't oppose it either.
Well, Collier is gonna have the ball in his hands mostly next year. He's gonna be our point guard. He's a 5-star recruit, dog.
Yeah, he might average 25 a game.
And we might get Bronny James, to be honest.
I know. It's down to what? Us, Oregon, and UCLA?
And Ohio State.
I don't think he's leaving California.
I don't think so either. If he does, he's going to Oregon.
Yeah.
But I also think Irv, I think a big part of the reason why he hasn't chosen the school because I think, obviously he has his pops.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably like, yo, we're going to a school where he's going to play. And I don't know if a team is like, especially Oregon, USC, UCLA, I don't know if they're just like, yeah, we're going to guarantee him playing time. Like, I don't know if those programs are down to do that, which is why I don't think he's signed yet.
I know his NIL deal about to be crazy.
It is, but at the end of the day, it's like,
well, wherever he signs, all their home games are going to be sold out next year. So hopefully it's USC.
USC home games sold out a lot now. Not every game, but
the big games. I'll say that.
I just think the problem is like if you want to build a program and you're a coach, it's like I'm not just gonna sign this guy because he's gonna bring attention. I'm not just gonna start him.
Sign him because his athletic ability and what he can add to your team. Now,
yeah, but USC, maybe he's not starting caliber. You know what I mean?
Well, we're losing Boogie.
Yeah, and we're getting Isaiah Collier.
I know. We still gonna need a backup, and we need a combo guard. And then those two dudes just hopped in the portal. Kobe Johnson should be coming back. I think it's gonna be
Kobe Johnson went in the portal.
No, not Johnson. The other two did.
Who?
I gotta look it up. And Arizona State losing their whole team too. They fans is gonna lose in their mind.
Not Reese Dixon Water, right?
Waters jumped in the portal, and somebody else.
If Waters jumped in the portal, that tells me that we might be getting Boogie. I mean, we might be getting Bronny.
USC guards, Reese and Dixon Waters and Malik Thomas both entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, Malik Thomas didn't play. That's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Reese was 6th man of the year.
Yeah, we losing him.
But he can't. He's inconsistent shooting. So
yeah, his shooting got to get. That's the only knock on him. His shooting got to get a lot better. Well, a lot more consistent because he can't shoot. He's just
the thing is like Isaiah Collier is going to start one guard. Kobe Johnson is going to start at the 2-3. We're a 3-guard offense, so he's going to start at one of the other guard spots, and then Kajani Wright's probably going to start at the 4, and then Iwuchukwu is going to start at the 5. And we also have that other kid from Serbia who's going to get some PT next year. He was a freshman this year.
Nice.
But we definitely need we need outside shooting and we need wings, dog.
ASAP.
There was
Rocky.
There was a kid that entered the portal. Fuck, I forget who his name was, but he's already been contacted by USC. Hold on, let me see here real quick. I can pull it all up. I was literally looking at all of this shit earlier. Where is it at? Oh, transfer portal. Here we go. Damn, it'd be nice if we got Walter Clayton Jr., but he's definitely going to fucking.
He going to St. John's.
Going to St. John's for sure, dude. Oh, Jalen Cone from Northern Arizona. That would be a good one, too.
Okay.
He's a small guard, though, but he's nice. Oh, Chance McMillan from Grand Canyon. He's been in contact with USC. He's in the transfer portal.
Nice.
That would be huge, bro. He shoots 42% from three. He's a shooting guard.
Yeah, get him.
That would be clutch.
ASAP Rocky.
That's who it was. I'm hoping a guy like Raekwon Battle from Montana State enters the transfer portal. That would be massive, but he might enter the draft, dude, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had a big opportunity to show out against Kansas State. They should have beat Kansas State. Crazy. All right. What's your best bet for Elite?
Let's go, y'all.
Give me the over for
Over for who?
Kansas State and FAU.
Over 144 and a half. K-State, FAU. All right. I'm going to go, my best bet is going to be FAU. No. Let's backtrack. Let's bring this in real quick. All right, we're going to go San Diego State. Best bet, San Diego State. Plus 1.5. Money line going to the fucking Final Four. Let's go Aztecs. Aztecs, baby.
Fight.
Hold it down for the West Coast because only motherfuckers that can get there.
Yeah, everybody else got their ass packed up.
Shit.
And it sucks that UCLA and Gonzaga had to play each other.
Yeah, dude. Well, it sucks that UConn and Zaga gotta play each other because it's gonna be a great matchup. I'm starting to like the Zags though. I'm starting to talk myself into the Gonzaga there. So, thank you everybody for joining us though. We'll be back on Sunday night. We'll be recapping March Madness. We'll be talking about XFL. We'll be talking Major League Baseball. We'll be talking NFL news and updates. We'll be talking a little bit of everything Sunday night, 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, twitch.tv/Taproom Sports. Join us there. You can follow Irvin at SwervinIrvin TSP. You can follow myself at Jordan Rules TSP on Twitter. Make sure to go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app straight to your mobile device. Use promo code TAPROOM for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. That's craft beer delivered straight to your front door. You don't even have to leave your seat. For Swerving Irvin Washington, I'm Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, lads. We'll catch y'all later. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Love y'all. Peace.